Meteorologist Matthew East here with you in the Weather on the One's Forecast Center. A much different weather week this week coming up than what we saw. And boy, it is a rainy start to the day here and start to the work week across much of the area. Let me show you the radar imagery from 5:15 this morning. And at that point in time, some pretty heavy rain's been moving through much of the Triad area. Portions of the Charlotte region pushing over into Raleigh-Durham. That rain's been piling up. This was the radar estimated precip totals from the Raleigh NexRad site, and you get into parts of, I know this is tough to see, but you get into parts of Davidson, Forsyth County, and even parts of Guilford County. You have some rainfall totals that have begun to exceed 3 inches in spots. So there were some flooding issues in some locations around the Piedmont as we began the day. This is the setup today. And by the way, we'll get into the tropics here in just a moment, so if you're interested in that, hang on. But this is a look at the weather map for today. Big high pressure over the Great Lakes region wedging down the eastern side of the mountains. One of our Carolina wedges setting itself up. So rain with us at times today, gradually tapering off as the day unfolds and we head into this evening. And a cooler day. Many spots in the Piedmont just hanging out in the 60s for temperatures all day today. So most of us, for daylight hour high temperatures, will not see temperatures above the 70-degree mark. So a cooler day today, certainly. Tomorrow, looks like most of us, especially in the Triad and Charlotte zones up toward the mountains, will see a dry day tomorrow for our Tuesday. And pleasant temperatures, highs probably mid-70s at best. And a lot of below-average temperatures coming. This is a look out at Wednesday. Can't completely rule out a shower, but most of us, again, probably dry for Wednesday with highs again in the 70s. Later this week, the GFS tries to develop this little low along the coast. We'll see. I've kept the forecast dry for Thursday, and again, highs probably at best in the mid to upper 70s. All right, as we get into Friday and the weekend, we get things a little warmer, but still nothing at all like what we saw last week. Probably upper 70s to lower 80s for highs Friday, and lower to maybe some mid-80s there on Saturday with a dry forecast. Sunday, much the same. Maybe lower 80s, could be some mid-80s in spots, and mainly a dry forecast. So pretty quiet weather overall, and overall, as we look at the forecast for this week, a much cooler week, lots of below-average temperatures, and I didn't mention low temperatures. We're talking lows most mornings, at least down into the upper 50s, so sort of a taste of fall with some much cooler weather for highs and lows this week, and the rain chances greatest today. Much lower rain chances for the rest of the week after we get past today. All right, into the tropics here, and real quick, I want to show you the Eastern Pacific. Of course, this won't directly impact us, but this is a look at Hurricane Jimena there in the eastern part of the Pacific Ocean. That is the future track of that hurricane, and it'll head toward the Baja Peninsula of Mexico, and will probably make landfall as a pretty significant hurricane there a little later on this week. So that could affect some of the resort areas for sure. And anytime you have a landfalling hurricane on the Baja Peninsula, there is inevitably flooding problems with the mountainous terrain there. There'll probably be mudslides and flooding in addition to the rain and wave problems there along the coast. Into the Atlantic Basin. And at the time I'm cutting this video, not a classified system, but we're watching this area very closely here east of the Lesser Antilles. A closer inspection shows you some nice convection firing up near that what could be a developing low-level center. We'll see if this gets classified. I think it stands a good chance of becoming classified as our next tropical system within the next 24 hours or so. There is some of the computer model guidance, generally a west-northwesterly motion, could be close to the northern parts of the Lesser Antilles. Most of the guidance takes it just north, though, of those eastern Caribbean islands. And a couple of the select models here way down the line. This is a look at the Canadian. It eventually recurves this off before it can reach the east coast of the United States. This is the no gaps, the farther south track, and that is in a position where with this high building in, that could, on the no gaps, wind up threatening the U.S. And that is a look at the hurricane wharf. Develops this into a hurricane and places it several hundred miles east of the Bahamas as we get on toward late this weekend. So the general synopsis here dealing with the tropics here is, again, at the time I'm cutting this video, early Monday morning, we don't yet have a classified system in the Atlantic Basin, but I think one's coming pretty soon, and it's just too early to tell whether or not this will threaten the east coast of the U.S. It certainly is within the realm of possibility, but too early to say for sure whether or not that will occur. Something we'll, of course, keep watching. Tropical updates for you, 21 minutes and 51 minutes past the hour on News 14 Carolina. All right, that's it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Stay dry out there as we go through the day today, especially this morning, and enjoy the cooler temperatures. If you've been waiting for a taste of fall, hey, it's here. All right, that's it for today's edition of the video. Have a great Monday, and God bless.